This tutorial is about closures. Closures serve various purposes. They enable encapsulation of code and data in a single unit. They enable the handling of asynchronous tasks, for example, when downloading like a JSON feed or XML feed or a database serialization feed. And they also enable functional operations on data collections and are commonly used as callbacks for event handling. This is the tutorial example we'll be creating. When the user clicks on Get Person button, then it returns the following object, the following data, which is thread, which is the name property, and age, which is the age property of the attribute. So this example with the name thread and age 20, this could also be a asynchronous JSON feed, or it would be like coming from a web server or some external service online. To capture the person object that includes the name and the age, you need to create a class called person. To create your class, just hold down the control key and then left click on the mouse button, click on new file, select Swift file, click on next. Give the file a name, so we call it person. And now we need to create our class definition, so we type in class, person. The person class has two attributes, which are name, which is string data type, and age, which is int data type. And now we need to create our completion handler. So just type in public function create person completion at escaping person, and it returns void, which is nothing. On line 14, the at escaping keyword indicates that the completion closure can be stored and executed after the create person function has returned. And this is always used within asynchronous operations or callbacks, where you want to provide a value or a result to the caller when the operation is complete. Next thing we need to do is use dispatch queue. So just type in dispatch queue global async. So the purpose of using async, dispatch queue global sync, is that it will simulate a asynchronous task using a global request. And it also reduces any network blockages as well, so that the UI runs smoothly. And now we're creating an instance of the person class, so just call it let new person equals person. New person dot name equals Fred. New person dot age equals 20. And now we have our class that has our attributes and the data that it contains. So now we want to publish or send the class data to the caller or the function that's waiting for the create person function to complete. So to do that, we just type in dispatch queue main async, and then within the completions, we type in completion new person. So the new person will be passed to the completion handler, and then the actual routine or function will have the latest information within the variable reference. I'll just compile it now to make sure that it compiles. And now to call the create person closure, we need to go into the content view. Within the content view, on line 11, create a person variable. So type in @state bar person. So this is the person object variable. And then within the VStack, delete everything between lines 16 and 19, and also delete line 18, which is the padding. Now type the following text. Person details. If let person is equal to person, but just make sure that the person isn't nil, so we do safe unwrapping. So if the person exists, then display the attributes of that person, the name, person dot name, and then we do the same thing for age as well. Person dot age. And the next thing we need to do is to add a button so that the user can call the completion handler. So type in button, get person, and then when the user clicks on the button, it will execute this method, this closure, create person. So we don't need the completion part there. And then we type person in there. to get access to the person object. And then what we need to do now is delete this bracket here on 928. And now we're typing cell.person equals person. And then what we need to do now is to add on a pair, typing dot on a pair, and then create an instance of the person object. So just type in person equals person. And let's compile it. Now let's run it. Compiling it at the moment. Let me close this image. Still trying to run, taking a bit of time. It's Xcode, so I might need to close this simulator and then run it again. So I'll close it. And now it's running. So now I'll click on Get Person button. And as you can see, the attributes were populated, which are threads for the name attribute and age that contains 20. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.